This is clip 2, so we're just downstream of the sandbar now. We're heading downstream toward Boston. There's plenty of room to wane off to the right here, but only until you get up to the bushes just about in the center of the screen, a little bit right now. Once you get up there, you need to make forward progress through the second bridge, through the Arsenal Street Bridge. But there's plenty of room to wane off before you get to there and wait before you get to there. So cut the turn right after the sandbar and wane off there if you need to wait. Otherwise, you will get washed down to here. Once you get right about here, you need to make forward progress through the bridge. If you're waned up before here, any stationary drill, catch placement, level hands, stay moving, stay doing something. At least establish finish height. So, after you get here, you need to keep going. The only reason you can stop through here is if there's a boat in front of you that is stopped. This is one of the few places in the river that the river is actually single file. You cannot pass through here until we get to the bridge. The bridge itself you can actually pass in, but right here it's single file. It's very easy for boats coming upstream to not make the turn very well and to end up toward the center. So it's critical that you stay right. Stay as far right as you can around this turn. Again, it's single file, and in order to be set up for the next bridge, you need to stay right anyway. There's a natural draw toward the bridge as soon as you can see it. Resist that urge. Here, as we come around the turn, you can start to see the bridge. If you made a straight line for the bridge, you would cross way over the center line of the river around a huge blind turn. This is where a person was involved in a very serious accident a few years ago. And you would also have to make a huge turn right under the bridge. And boats don't like to turn under bridges because they don't turn and have the bow go over the same place as the stern. They sort of skid to the side. That's how boats turn. So you want to stay really far right and then go straight through the bridge. The shoreline is your friend. The shoreline sets you up to go perfectly straight through this right-hand arch. Most bridges, if you follow the shoreline, you're in good shape, but there are a few exceptions to that rule. Just after the bridge, there is a wall on our right. Assuming there's no one fishing off the wall, this is a great place to win off. There's plenty of room to shore, to move over and stop. We can do drills here. If you're ahead of another group, don't win off until you get down here where this double is going to move over and stop there. But once you get significantly downstream of here, you need to, again, continue making forward progress. So there's only a few really good places to stop on the river, but here is one of the wide places. If you're looking at a map, you can sort of see how there's dead space to the right here. After we get past here, the main hazard is upstream traffic trying to get close to the center line of the river or crossing the center line, and downstream traffic having a difficult time making this turn. It's a very large turn, it's a really big turn to the right, it's easy to end up too far to the center of the river, and it's easy for upstream traffic to have that urge that I just described where you, as soon as you see the bridge, you steer for it, and if they do that, they get very close to the center line coming upstream. Despite the fact there's plenty of room here, it's also a dangerous area of the river. As we come around this turn, we're starting to get to the northeastern docks. Just after the northeastern docks is another decent place to stop, to move to the shore and wane off. It needs to be single file. It's not perfect, it's not great, but we can stop here if we need to. The trick is that it gets shallow close to shore, especially a little bit past the turn. So you need to be aware that if you're stopped close to shore, don't be too close to shore, especially on days when the Charles is low. Notice when you walk down the docks how big an incline is the is the ramp. If it's very steep, the river is low, and you can't get too close to shore. That's pretty simple, especially through here. Straight ahead of us now, right there, there's a concrete culvert. You can sort of see it. We're bouncing around a little. There we go. It's right over there somewhere. Right there. It's very shallow, close to it. And rocky, so it's very easy to damage a boat here. After we get through here, you're trying to just take a straight shot. This is one of the straightaways on the river, and crews do straight pieces here, seat racing, pieces against other boats here. So you need to be aware that sometimes people line up 3, occasionally people line up 4 boats here. It's not exactly safe, but they do it, so just be aware. And remember the rules. Stay close to shore. My rule, stay close enough to shore that anybody passing you knows to pass you to the center of the river. Anytime you pass, you need to pass toward the center of the river. You can never pass a boat on the wrong side close to shore. You need to go around. So also notice here, we're coming up on the finish line of the head of the Charles. It's right in the middle of this straightaway. You can sort of see the marker we just passed right there. That's the finish line. The finish line of the head of the Charles is mostly notable because a lot of crews, as we get close to the head of the Charles, will go straight across the finish line coming upstream and wane off, especially in the middle of the river. So understand that people do silly things in this area of the river. That's all you really need to know here. If a boat is in the center and stopped, it's very difficult to know what they're going to do or guess what they're going to do. So give them a lot of room, and hopefully we can avoid any incident here. But understand that boats frequently stop as they come up here. Now, as we get past the canoe docks up here, or approach the canoe docks, again, there's a temptation to steer for the bridge as soon as you can see it. Resist that temptation. Stay right. I know it's a longer course, but it's much safer, and it's the only safe course. If you went straight for the bridge from right here, I think you're going to see it in a second, you would go well into the wrong side of the river, and again, it would be a huge turn under the bridge, right here. You would go all the way into the right side, especially considering, remember, you're dividing rowable river by thirds. You're thinking about the rowable river. Here, boats come upstream through the center arch, and also they're frequently lining up to do pieces back toward northeastern from where we are. So you've got to stay significantly to the right of where we are right now. Alright, this is just about the end of clip 2, so you're just trying to stay wide around this turn, stay wide, and you'll have a straight shot through the right-hand arch. Straight through the bridge. Again, you're thinking about going straight through the bridge, not turning underneath it. Have the coxswain's head go under the center or to the right side